Jenna from Scribbling Grace. Today I'm doing an acrylic Bible journaling page in my Interleaved Journaling Bible here. This one is a fun one because you'll see how I created a background that I did not like at all and how I fixed it. So acrylic paints are great for Bible journaling because they don't bleed through at all. They cover up things. You can use them as page prep, so you can use supplies like inks and stuff that normally would bleed through a Bible journaling page on top of them, and it will prevent them from bleeding through. You can easily fix mistakes because you can just paint over them. So today I'm going to show you how I totally fixed this page that I did not originally like. So I decided that I wanted to try using the swiping technique, which is really common in the Bible journaling community, where basically you use a card like I'm using here, and you pick up your acrylic paint and just swipe it onto the page to create a bunch of lines or however you want to do it. And this is a technique that I don't normally do. And I was reminded why I don't normally do it, because I've done this before and it never turns out how I want it to look. So, but I gave it a try anyways, and I added all these bright colors because I really wanted this page to be nice and bright. I had been working in this, this journaling Bible for my son, and I've been working my way through Psalms, and this was the last page of Psalms. And so I am working on the last verse of the book of Psalms, which is Psalm 150 verse 6, which says, "Let everything that has breath praise the Lord, praise the Lord." And so I wanted this page to be bright and happy and, you know, just a page of celebration and praise. So I used all these bright colors. You see me using blues and greens and purples and pinks and some yellow. And at this point, I'm realizing this is not turning out exactly how I had envisioned in my mind. It's usually you would use a hard card like a gift card or an old credit card, but I didn't have any of those on hand, so I was just using like a piece of cardstocky paper, like thick paper. But it did kind of bend a bit, so it didn't have like a great amount of leverage, and it just was not working out the way I wanted it to. But the big takeaway I want you to take away from me sharing this page is that it's not about the art. So even if you mess up, even if you hate how your page turns out in the end, it's not about the art. It's all about the heart and spending time with God, worshiping Him, reading His Word, studying it, learning it, you know, just spending time growing your relationship with Him. That's what Bible journaling is all about. It is not about creating the perfect page either. So even if I were to stop here, even though I'm not happy with it, you know, it's still beautiful, you know, to me and in the eyes of God, I would think, because it's all about praising Him. So as long as you focus on that and your heart's in the right place, I really think that no matter how your page turns out, it's going to be beautiful. So I just really want to encourage you on that. And the benefit of using acrylic paints is that it's really easy to fix your mistakes. So I did not like how my page turned out with the swiping method, so I decided to just paint over it. A lot of the spots were still wet, so you can see there's still some paint streaking through. I'm just used some white paint and this big flat paintbrush, and I'm just painting that white paint all over this page to cover up what I had already painted. And then I'm going to continue using the same colors that I was using before, but I'm going to lighten them up a little bit by adding a little bit of white paint to them. And I'm just going to use my paintbrush this time to create swipes and try to get the image that I wanted, that I had in my head, out on the page. But so I hope that encourages you that my pages do not turn out totally perfect the first time around. You know, I have many pages that I have not absolutely adored, but again, they're all beautiful because they're all showing my heart and my love for the Lord, which is what Bible journaling is all about. So I get so many messages from people saying that they're scared to start Bible journaling because they're scared they're going to make a mistake, or they don't want to mess up their Bible. And I just really, again, just want to encourage you that, you know, go in with the right attitude and the right heart, because that's what it's all about. And I think that in the Bible journaling community, especially, we can get really carried away in creating these perfect, pretty pages and posting only the pretty pages on Instagram and stuff. And that's just not what it's about. So I just want to encourage you on that. So as you can see here, I'm using the same colors that I was using and that same giant paintbrush, flat paintbrush, to just swipe on some paint. So I added a bunch of blue for the main portion, and now I'm going in adding some purple, some of that yellow. The thing about yellow acrylic paint is that it is a very transparent color, so you can see other colors underneath it. So I had to add a little bit of white to make that a little more opaque, and I liked that a lot better. And when doing multiple different colors like this on a page, you need to be careful about when to clean your brush. So I tend not to clean my brush between every single color. So if I'm going from like a white to a pink or a pink and a purple, I won't clean my brush between those. I'll just try to kind of use my brush to kind of mix the colors a little bit together on my brush. And then I'll pick up that next, I'll get a more pinkish purple, you know, or a more purpley pink. But you'll still see the difference of the colors, but I don't have to clean my brush all the time. But I do want to make sure that between switching from like a blue to a yellow that I'm cleaning my brush. Otherwise I'm going to get more of a green color, which is not what I wanted. So in those spots, you definitely need to clean your brush. So you need to be kind of careful about when to clean it. Otherwise you're going to get browns and murky colors. So just keep that in mind. So I added pinks in there. You can see the brush strokes. I really liked how this page turned out in the end. And now I'm just adding some splatter. You can see I like to just flick my finger on that flat paintbrush to create splatter. So I used white and then also some of that blue as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my lettering, which is going to be really the main focal point of this page. So this was just a really fun background. I was really happy with how it turned out after what I originally had. And you can't tell that at all what I originally had either. So it turned out really well. So I am writing out, "Let everything that has breath praise the Lord." Again, the verse that I'm working on is Psalm 150, verse 6, which says, "Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord." And I am using my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, my trusty old Fudenosuke, to do some brush lettering, brush calligraphy here. And because this pen is a pretty small pen and the page that I'm working on is pretty big and I wanted my lettering to be really big on this page, I am going to go over it another time to make it thicker and bigger. But for now, I'm doing the main lettering here, and then we'll thicken up the letters in just a second. So I do have tutorials on brush calligraphy like this. This is what I would consider bounce calligraphy, and I'm doing it kind of in a diagonal just to fill up the page a little bit better. I'm leaving space at the bottom to do my date and then also my prayer as well, because in this Bible I always write out a prayer, praying the verse over my son, since this Bible is going to be for him one day. And here I am thickening up those lines. So this lettering part was definitely the most time-consuming part of this page, but it totally is worth it. You know, spending the time lettering is probably the part where I'm really worshiping God so much more, because again, it's all about worshiping Him. So here is another very time-consuming portion of this lettering. So I took my Unibal Signo gel pen, this white gel pen, because I felt like the lettering needed to pop out of that background a little bit more. That's the thing with these kind of bright, busier backgrounds, is that the lettering can get a little lost in them. So I needed something to let that lettering pop out, and I decided that I was just going to outline all of the letters. You see even inside these loops here, all around the letter. It took a very long time, but it was very meditative, and it gave me the time to just focus on this verse that I was working on. And so you can see just going around with this gel pen all around every word. A lot of the times you'll see in other videos that I've done, I do these highlights all the time where I go on just one side of the letter. So this is a little bit more in depth to that because it goes all around every part of the letter, but it was so worth extra time. You can see how it just makes that lettering just pop. So this extra step of this gel pen just really was worth it to me. So now once I did that, that's it for my page. I'm going to write my prayer and my date at the bottom, and here's the back side. You can see there's no bleed through with those acrylic paints. I didn't prep or anything. Totally great. Love it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video too. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and check out all the links in the description below for the supplies that I used and all other helpful tutorials and stuff I'll put in the description so you can find those, everything you need to create a page like this. So, all right. Much love, many blessings. Bye.